Salix Babylonica, Commentary. The saga of Salix Babylonica concerns the tree's relationship with water and how it acts as a conduit for their consciousness. Whilst Salix does tend towards flowing poetry and prefers the wet images found near a shaded imagination, the reader will find a substantial science beneath the surface of this saga. This may come as a surprise to many, but once the nature of tree consciousness is understood, it is really quite obvious why there are currents and eddies of what we call science running in the bed of Salix's story. Life on this high mass. The first opening words are a tributary of knowledge from this waterway of science. Life on this high mass could also be expressed as life on this planet, for rocky planets such as the Earth are known as high mass planets. This distinction is made to separate rocky formations from gaseous giants such as Saturn, Jupiter and Uranus. Salix begins the saga with the very creation of our solar system in these words, high mass. During this time period, approximately 4.568 million summers ago, there existed what is called a giant molecular cloud, a dust cloud. This was the remains of previous stars that had lived and died before our system had ever grown a star at its heart. As the dust swirled and rolled around a vast area of space, the sculpting hand of gravity pulled small pieces together to make bigger pieces. Those bigger pieces dragged in other pieces, and bit by bit, larger and larger bodies were formed around a centre that was becoming substantially dense. Like a pebble in the water, the heavier elements sank more towards the centre, whilst like a bubble, the lighter elements floated more towards the edge. The bodies forming closer to the growing sun were the rocky elements, those with high mass. The bodies forming further away were the lighter elements, the gaseous planets. Life on this high mass, starts Salix Babylonica, and with startling brevity refers to the origin of our solar system. From such genesis, Salix proceeds to the main point, which is all about water. Having begun with the formation of the high mass, the saga then sends out a searching route to seek the wet history of our rocky planet. The water of this saga is explained as the fluid within all that is life itself. Our own human bodies are approximately 60% water, as Salix points out. Squeeze you dry, twist every last drop out, half fill a hollow with liquid. Hold your minerals in one broad leaf. The trees then question how much we know of our watery being. They caution us that we need to know and understand our river of being if we are going to comprehend the consciousness of trees. If you do not understand water, you cannot understand us. Salix urges us to see with liquid eyes if we are to understand how much water is not just a part of us, but a component of all that lives and breathes. This challenge of a quest for the meaning of water once more flows from the canals of our physical sciences. Sense your water raining from the stars. The consciousness of trees knows the story of water from before our high mass formed. Out amongst the dust cloud, large lumps of ice formed and travelled through the solar wind, thereby altering their chemical composition. For there are two distinctly different types of water, the deuterium form and the hydrogen form. Humans have been puzzled by the fact that chondrites, the type of meteorites that brought water to the early Earth, contain the heavier deuterium water made from one proton, one neutron and one electron, and our seas are made of the lighter water with just one proton and one electron. This mystery of light water has long been known to the consciousness of trees. Sense your water raining from the stars, says Salix's saga, and the trees know that the light water is actually water created by the action of the solar wind on the isotopes in the chondrite structure. As the sun streamed out its particles into the solar system, protons bathed the chondrites and snatched electrons to encrust them with hydrogen. The water of our oceans, which cover 71% of our high mass surface, is truly starlight water, made by our sun in the protoplanetary disk. This cosmology of water is only part of the story which Salix is telling. The sunburnt disk which made our starlight water is finite on our planet. There is only so much of it. There has only ever been one big reservoir of water, 366 trillion gallons in all. In the dynamic system of our atmosphere, this starlight water is constantly being recycled. Your water has been many things before you. All your ancestors are in the memory of your water. You are the inheritor and the inheritance. Sheltering within Salix Babylonica's saga is this ocean of memory, and that inundation of memories are ever present within the consciousness of trees. Their conscious presence exists in the flood, and the waters of their memories are timeless and interconnected to the waters within you and I and all life on earth. They are alive in the first ocean, as they are alive in our ocean, as they are alive in the oceans yet to come. The water is continuous, and so are they. This is why in these sagas the consciousness of trees can speak with our memories. They possess the language of our mythologies within their own water memories, because not only has your water been many things before you, but it will be many things after you. As tree consciousness lies within the tides of the 366 trillion gallons of starlight water, your memories are part of their memories through the 60% of water you are borrowing. You will live within the tears of Babylon, and Salix cries your history. This is why our weeping willow tells us that if you do not understand water, you cannot understand us. Salix stands by the rivers, guards the ponds and lakes, to remind us that our water is not our own. We get into the river, or the river gets into us, and we swim a short distance before we leave its wet embrace. The consciousness of trees are the river, from the spring to the estuary and on into the oceans of time. Start to feel eternity's reservoir within you. For 100 million summers, the meteorites brought the water from the stars, carried in dust, rocks and icy comets. 366 trillion gallons, one drop at a time, as the high mass of molten rock cooled and formed a hard rock lid over the magma within. 4,800 million summers ago, the reservoir was fully formed and the first ocean washed about our planet. And in that water, the consciousness of trees stretched out to reach for life. As Quercus robur said at the very start of the saga, we are the consciousness of trees, the seek of our roots, our touch of leaf, ancient before your eating ways. The consciousness has always been there, and from that very first ocean, it began to create life on this high mass. To really understand this relationship between water and consciousness, we also have to visit how the consciousness of trees exists in time.